Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generations discussion. And today, I want to talk to you guys about the major elephant in the room that we have right now, which is the storm that is coming to Konoha in the form of Code and his 10-tailed soldiers. And right now, Naruto's Hokage has a problem. And the problem is it doesn't matter how many shadow clones he makes. He can't be everywhere. And with each clone that he's making, he's dividing up his chakra, which makes it impossible for Naruto to fend off the threat that's coming if Boruto and Kawaki are otherwise preoccupied. It really makes you think back to that moment when Madara told Naruto, it doesn't matter how many shadow clones you make, you're such a motley crew, which Obito had to clarify for him. Doesn't matter if you make 1,000,000 shadow clones, 0 divided by 1,000,000 is still 0. Well, in the midst of all of this, we have Naruto's youngest child, who in the anime is attending the academy, but she hasn't decided if she's gonna become a ninja yet officially. And in the manga, she's shown that she's interested enough that she's directly asked her mother if becoming a ninja so she can help Boruto will make Hinata worry more or less. All signs point to the fact that Himawari eventually is going to pick up a kunai as a profession. Himawari was out there in the background listening as Boruto told his mother, "So what if I got killed before? It's no big deal. I'll find a way to come back to life again. Don't worry about me. I'm special. I'm a prodigy, remember?" Paraphrased a little bit, but you get the point of the sarcasm, hopefully. So Himawari was there when her mother was breaking down into tears, openly sobbing at the prospect of her son being in danger and being hunted down. Himawari, for as cute and cuddly as she is, where she's so adorable, where fans everywhere want to do everything they can to make sure they can protect her, everything they can to make sure they make her smile by smashing the like button on the video in order to make Himawari smile. Himawari is extremely observant, potentially even more so observant than her brother Boruto, who has shown that he's sensitive and in tune to the emotions of people around him. She knows her brother is being hunted down by people who is stronger than her father. She knows there aren't many people out there that she can actually depend on to actually be able to protect her brother. I mean, who exactly is she going to be able to depend on? It damn sure ain't going to be Konohamaru. We also know, based off the Boruto movie novelization and some of the Boruto light novels, that Boruto is fiercely protective of his younger sister, and Himawari is aware of that, but now she's gotten to the point where she is starting to show the trait that her mother Hinata had, which is wanting to protect those that she cares for, even if she herself doesn't have the power to do so. She's still gonna try to risk it all in order to protect her brother. With Code now being implied to be on his way to the village with the 10-tailed soldiers and Ada, Damon, and Amato still outside the village, it opens up a major red flag that we have to discuss, especially if Boruto and Kawaki have to leave the village to meet Ada, Amato, and Damon once they reach into the Land of Fire's territory. If Code shows up at the wrong time, when Konoha has 2 of his 3 strongest assets out of the village, potentially 3 if Sasuke's already left the village, there's a problem in terms of protection. Naruto won't be able to protect the village as Hokage. Between overseeing a massive amount of civilians and citizens being evacuated from both old Konoha down below the Hokage monument and new Konoha at the top of the Hokage monument, and having to try and coordinate with Ino counterattacks to keep the 10-tailed soldiers away from the civilians, his hands are going to be full. And if Code uses the full 10-tailed soldiers to try looking for Boruto, it opens up the door for Himawari being in danger. She'd be in a similar situation as the Konoha ninja were when Pain came to the village seeking information on Naruto. And because Naruto has to take the time to use clones to enter into Sage mode, there's going to be a window where Naruto's not going to be able to do anything. Nobody was safe in the Pain arc. If you were caught, you were questioned. Himawari coming face to face with those 10-tailed soldiers, being spoken to by Code, and being potentially recognized by Code is a way to gain real leverage on Naruto to make it easier to kill Naruto, who's on Code's list of people to kill, but also to lure out Boruto. You can choose either one, and here's why. When you trigger someone, make them so emotional that they can no longer think rationally, even if you're saying the truth. If you trigger them in the way to say the truth, you're able to control them. When you have that level of power over somebody, they become much easier to manipulate into a position where they can be easily manipulated. Let's look at at Code targeting Himawari from a few different impacts. Now, in no way am I saying to kill her. I know what I have on the thumbnail, Himawari seemingly dead on the thumbnail. That's more so Himawari being injured. However, your knee-jerk reaction is like, oh, he killed her on the thumbnail. That's not exactly true. However, Boruto as a series hasn't shown itself to be like something like Promised Neverland or To Your Eternity, where killing off children is something you know is on the table. No character's safe. Even though I personally would not mind it if Code killed Himawari in front of Naruto or in front of Boruto just to see the mental breakdown that Naruto would have, or to see Boruto give up control to Momoshiki, because that would serve as a good conflict for either one of them. However, what I am saying is that based off what we've seen from Naruto and Boruto, placing Himawari in danger has some narrative benefits that you can actually extract from her as a character that doesn't require her being killed off. So take Naruto for instance. If there's an attack on the village, he's not going to hesitate to rush out to face it. As a Konoha shinobi, he's been conditioned for it. As a boy who dreamed of becoming Hokage, he knew the risks of that position when he went from being a boy to being the man who fulfilled his childhood dream. In the Naruto Retsen novel, he's also very much aware of the fact that he's been Hokage longer than his father Minato was, and he's lived a longer life than his father Minato did. The mortality that comes with being the Hokage is something that he's very much aware of, along with the fact that most of the Hokage have actually died while serving as Hokage. However, the moment that Naruto saw Kawaki kill Boruto, something changed in his character. He was no longer able to focus to a point where he wasn't even able to keep up his sage mode active. He was unresponsive for a long period of time. He was in shock. He was struggling with his emotions. In that moment, there had never been a better opportunity to strike down the 7th Hokage than that very moment right there. Code was right there on the battlefield. Granted, he was getting his ass handed to him by Kawaki the entire time, but he would have seen Naruto's reaction to losing his child. The prospect of losing another child to this ninja world, his youngest child at that, and being too weak to stop it, it's enough to manipulate Naruto's Hokage into making a mistake. Granted, this will require Code to have more than 3 brain cells, but we've seen Code from having 0 brain cells to having 1 brain cell, and now that he's gotten his limbers taken off, he now has 3 brain cells. So there's been progress being made here. However, if he's able to make Naruto desperate enough, he's able to have Naruto removed from Shikamaru, the brain of Konoha, which makes Naruto easier to manipulate and makes Naruto easy to have taken out the way. Narratively making Naruto see yet again that despite being the Hokage, he's powerless to stop what's coming. That has benefits from a writing perspective, especially as you begin to start trying to write Naruto out as being a co-main character instead to being a support character by Boruto's own words in chapter 1. Now the same is true for Boruto. Boruto has been shown being fiercely protective of his sister Himawari, from wanting to protect her feelings on her 10th birthday when Naruto didn't show up, to showing concern over her emotional well-being when Kawaki destroyed her vase that she had just made for their mother Hinata on her birthday. In the Boruto movie novel, even Sarada makes a mention that the way Boruto smiles at his sister Himawari is unlike anything that she'd ever seen from Boruto before, something that we as fans we could definitely agree with. Having Boruto learn that his sister was placed in danger or gravely harmed because she tried to protect him by not revealing his location, that could be something meant to push Boruto over the edge to the point where Momoshiki is able to take over control of his body. The idea that his sister overhears Boruto talking about dying and Himawari wanting to prevent something like that from occurring is great development for both characters. It raises Himawari's stock while also sending Boruto as a character down a downward spiral. It gives the character more meat on the bones to make him more relatable if that guilt is something he has to live with and if the consequences are long term. It will be different than seeing Hinata in the hospital like he did in the Momoshiki arc, and he lost it for a second when he was putting on Naruto's jacket in the Hokage office and was about to break down before Sasuke said he can fix this. Naruto's still alive. Boruto had hope. Right now, you'd be taking hope away from Boruto. Letting this be something that Boruto lives with, it puts him in a long overdue path. Most people can't relate to the boy genius who sees jutsu, puts in a little work, and masters it easy like it's a game. Most people aren't prodigies. Most people can't relate to a kid who's so smart that he's passing advanced tests without cheating, where the answers are advanced stuff that only people well beyond his age are supposed to know the answer to. However, most people can relate to screwing up. Most people can relate to letting people down. Most people can relate to blaming yourself when your own actions, either indirect or direct, cause harm to somebody you care for. When we see a cop who gets called a brave cop, they're not called brave for no reason. They've been through some things that tested their character and forced them to man up in situations where normal people would have ran away. Boruto stands to gain something like that, but in the opposite route. Having his sister be the trigger that gives Momoshiki control, and the only way Boruto regains consciousness and control is if he takes accountability for his actions, you put Boruto in a more favorable light. Now that being said, do I think this happens? Not really, but I do think this is an option that should be explored. I think it's worthy enough. We need to talk about it as a community. However, I'm very curious to know you guys' thoughts on this. Do you think this is the right way to have Boruto lose control to Momoshiki? While you think that over, click here to watch this video from my KRYPTONIAN SAIYAN channel, or click here to watch this video from the Naruto Explained channel.